As always, give credit to our opponent for how they played and competed. You know, felt like we had plenty of opportunities to win the game today, and as we continue to say each and every week, it's still about more what we do than it is what our opponents do or what our opponents have done. The good news is correctable. It's something that we can continue to get corrected. I thought the fight was there. I thought our kids competed for 4 quarters, but we just continue to make mistakes at the most inopportune times. We had 5 opportunities in the red zone to come away with 2 touchdowns, and have turnovers down there. Couldn't get off the field on 3rd down, but we had opportunities. And the challenge for us is, our players that we feel are playmakers for us have to find ways to make plays when they're available, and we didn't get that done today. So we'll get back in here to work tomorrow. We got a great challenge on the road against a good Michigan State team. Our guys will continue to correct this stuff. Monday, put a good week of work in, and find a way to get that 6th win. With that, I'll open it up to questions.
All right, guys, raise your hand. We'll get you guys the microphones. We'll start with Dave.
Mike, Jahan Dotson this afternoon and evening, just the way that the game that he had, what was the biggest challenge in trying to keep up with him? What did you guys try to do, and how did he, what did he do?
Well, he ran slant routes for about 242 yards against man coverage, where we want to deny inside leverage. Again, he's a big-time player, and he made the plays that were available to him. Would I like to see us in better leverage position to cover him? No doubt. He caught us in a couple zone coverages. The first one was the double move when we were in zone. The next one was, again, we were in zone coverage, and they ran a similar concept, but then when we went man, we had to challenge a good receiver like that and take away the leverages that don't allow the ball to be thrown inside. And those are the things we got to get corrected.
All right, Emily?
When you look at some of those inopportune mistakes, what do you kind of attribute those to? How do you go about trying to eliminate them? And then if you could specifically, what would you see on Talia's pick there at the end?
Well, without watching the tape, I hate commenting on it, but the way I saw it, we had a shallow crosser where the receiver went behind the linebacker when he's not supposed to. Again, I haven't seen it on film, so don't quote me that that's exactly what happened, but you guys like asking these questions before we watch it. So how I saw it was that a receiver went behind, which you can't do on a shallow cross. As far as the other inopportune mistakes, the high snap there down in the red area. Again, drops showed back up again for us all game long. On offense, defensively, we had some opportunities with interceptions that we didn't get. We still haven't come up with a turnover in how many 5 games now. So a lot of things that get corrected. The thing I like most about it is that our team continues to give me the effort, and the fight is there. But I sure would like to see us play smarter and not beat ourselves as I continue to come in here on after games and highlight.
Back on the cameras, Ali.
Coach, you mentioned the mistakes that are correctable. What did you see on 3rd downs? They allowed 10 of 18. So where do you think, or what do you think needs to be corrected there?
Again, when you don't have a chance to watch the film, we had them in 3rd and long situations, and I saw the ball being completed for yardage where, the underneath coverage when we played zone, biting on things that are shallow when they should be deeper. When we play man coverage underneath, guys who's in leverage. So again, all these are fundamental and technical things. Very few things that were schematic where they created a matchup issue or something where we weren't prepared for. A lot of this is fundamental and technical, and that's what coaches' jobs are to do, is to get these fundamentals and these technical things fixed, and that's what we need to get done.
Wayne, front and center.
Coach, what went into the decision-making on several of those drives that stalled at about the 35 where Maryland ends up punting? Did you think about the long field goal or going for it, or what's the strategy there?
Well, we have a kick line, and hope is not a game plan. So if the kicker's kick line is the 32 and the ball's at the 36, I can hope that we make one. But we study it. We know where our line is. We did go forward on some fourth down situations where we weren't in that position. We felt the field position battle up until the end of the game. We were in pretty good shape. We had opportunities to pin them down inside, and we didn't make the play. Those are the type of plays that I continue talking about, where the ball hits at the 5 and we're supposed to be behind our heels on the goal line and not allow the ball in the end zone. We don't get it executed. So when we don't get those things done, those things go back to coaching and making sure that we got the right players in there to be able to execute the things that we coach. So we'll get those things fixed, as I said.
Hey, Coach. In the second half, during that play where Talia got knocked out of bounds and he had to come out for the game because they thought it was an injury, it was an injury timeout. Did you see what happened there? Because when we looked at the highlights, it like one of the Penn State's players on the bench like shoved Talia when he was coming out of bounds. I just want to get your thoughts if you saw.
I didn't, but our guys upstairs thought that it was probably a play that should be penalized. I couldn't see it, as on the far sideline. So to comment on it, other than that, our coaches upstairs saw the replay and thought that it should have been a penalized play, but we'll see it and we'll go and take the necessary measures to turn it in if it was.
Scott?
I know Eric Harris had taken a majority of the snaps, played at center, and Spencer Anderson was in there today. It also looked like Delmar Glaze was in there at right tackle. What kind of facilitated those changes, and how do you think that unit played today?
As we evaluate everything each week, we try to put our best players on the field. Delmar Glaze, DJ, has been one of those guys that we've continued to develop throughout the course of the season and has played at a really high level. Eric, being a junior college transfer, we thought that he's starting to maybe hit a little bit of a wall. He's a little banged up, struggled to maintain kind of some of the, when you have a quarterback the size of Leah, we want to be firm in the middle of our protection. So Spencer, it allowed us to get DJ on the field, who's been playing at a high level. It allowed us to shore up some of the protection issues that were showing up on film over the last 3-4 weeks. And we put our best 5 out there.
We'll take 2 more to your right, Jacob.
Is there anything in particular that you felt was working a little bit better on the defensive line today? It seemed like they were causing a lot more pressure, getting to the quarterback a little bit more often. Did you notice anything different today?
In our interior D linemen, and I say this every week, those guys play really hard. I mean, Ami, Mo, Sam O, Tyler Baylor, Darryl Jackson, those guys are playing winning football for us. And as you can see, we're getting people in the third down situations. We got to get the other guys playing to the level that they're capable of playing to support and allow us to get off the field, to be 10 of 18 on third down. And a lot of those third down situations were third and long type, 7+. That's what's disappointing. And, the big plays, the explosive plays, we knew who number 5 was. We knew what he was capable of. And to look at the stat sheet and see him with 242 yards passing, really, really disappointing.
Lauren in the second row.
Hi, Coach. When you look at this loss compared to maybe some of the earlier losses this season, how do you think you've seen your team grow since then, and what kind of, have you seen any growth, I guess, in that sense?
I mean, all these losses sucked, right? They all suck. And this one is disappointing. We had opportunities, and again, I'll give Penn State credit, but I'll take the blunt of the blame that we didn't get the things accomplished we needed to win. It was a competitive game. Our team continues to be competitive. They continue to fight and play with great effort, but the winning formula is, not turning the ball over and winning the big play battle, and we didn't do that today.